everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Kat. I do makeup things, challenge things, sometimes fitnessy things if I feel like having a conversation about something randomly and folks like tuning in, it's fine. Either way, if you like that kind of content and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. I would love that. Love to, make my community on here a little bit bigger, find out, other ideas and things that people leave for me in the comments on suggestions of new videos. I love doing different types of makeup challenges, pretty much anything that makes me look completely ridiculous, I'm gonna wanna do. And so the more people that toss suggestions in, the better. So if you haven't joined our family, come out, join us. As you can see, we've got the poopers here too. They love being part of these things too. Sorry for the random location. I am in the middle of moving, so this is our hotel room. It looks great. You guys will get to see the puppers for today. But I figured since we are in the middle of moving and I'm tired and I just couldn't really be brought to do anything too hectic, I figured, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do a nice old-fashioned anti-haul. I also spent way too much money on makeup the last couple months. I'm gonna be doing a haul video once I get back to my house out in Arizona, and so you guys will be able to see that. But as of right now, I'm gonna be doing an anti-haul because I need to go on a no-buy for a little bit. But there's so much new makeup to talk about. So if that's what you guys are interested in hearing about, go ahead and stick around because literally makeup is all we're gonna be talking about now. So I'm gonna turn the camera because we are extra old school right now. I don't even have a ring light or anything. I just have my window right now. This is sad. So first up, we have from an indie brand, Nomad Cosmetics. They have this lovely palette, which is the Cartagena Magica palette. I'm super great at pronouncing anything other than English. But it's a pretty palette. I mean, there's golds, oranges, some hot pinks. I have a lot of those colors already, and so it doesn't super duper appeal to me, but it is very pretty. It's still a little bit more of your fall type colors, which I really appreciate. We're gonna be getting into some of the holiday releases that have already come out, which to me is just I need more Halloween and fall type releases. These Christmassy palettes that are already coming out is just, I'm not ready for Christmas yet in 2020, so I'm gonna need for them to hold off. And so this palette definitely gives off some really, really nice fall vibes without being too excessive, and you also could use it with some of those golds and shimmery shades for the holidays, either way. But as of right now, I have a lot of those shades already, so I'm probably not gonna buy it. Okay, next up, OMFG has come up with a bunch more liquid lip products, it looks like. Yep, liquid lipsticks. I'm not a huge liquid lipstick fan. I definitely prefer my glosses just because as we all know, I suck at applying any type of lip color, and so I prefer glosses where I can just wipe away my mistakes. But these are some interesting shades. I would say that the bottom one that's that pinkish kind of color is the only one that would really appeal to me out of these, but I don't need more lip products for sure. I have way too many as it is, and liquid lipsticks are just not my jam. So on to the next. So next up we have from Indie Beats Cosmetics. They are releasing a bunch of different single shadow shades. I gotta be honest, none of these shades are really screaming to me that it's interesting or something that I want. The greens are too green, if you know what I'm saying. That's a grass green, and I can't really, I'm wearing green on my eyes right now. I love some good green tones, but I definitely prefer more of the grungy greens. If I'm gonna go with a brighter green, I want it to be a neon, not I went outside and weed whacked my yard and smacked that on my face. Yeah, and then some of these other shades, none of it's really standing out to me, so that's a hardcore pass for that one. So speaking of fall palettes, of all of the things that I was looking at, this one, it kind of got me where I was I really, really, really think this is super pretty and super fall vibes. This is the Rose Glass Cosmetics Fall Palette. That's about as fall as it comes. I can't think of anything else that is more fall than this palette. it, but I am on a no buy, and so I'm not gonna get it. But if you are needing fall vibes, this guy. I would recommend that. I haven't gotten anything from Rose Glass Cosmetics before, so I also don't really know what the quality is like on those, so I'll probably wait to see if anyone else buys it, but as of right now, yeah, holding off. Okay, next up is from Hip Dot. These are two different palettes that they have. There's a 9-pan palette and then a 15-pan palette. I don't know if this was maybe a delay because of COVID or whatnot, but these look like spring palettes. I mean, it is spring in Australia from what I hear, since they're like the reverse of us. So perhaps for people in Australia, you guys might be interested in that. It's very new. The 15-pan shade is super duper neutral. Definitely don't need that. There's like some pinks in there. I've got a ton of pinks and neutral shades. Definitely don't need that one. The 9-pan palette is a nice mixture of what looks to be pastels with some metallic shades in there. The green is a metallic-y green, but I don't know, like I don't really, I feel like I am headed towards fall, and so I don't need like spring shades at this point. And I definitely have more than enough pastels to last me a hot freaking minute right now. So passing on that one. Up next, Shine by SD Cosmetics. They released a whole bunch of neon liquid liners, which I just picked up a shit ton of neons, and so I don't really need this, but they look real nice. And so if you are in need of some liquid neon shades, what's up, Rogie? What do you see? She's checking out outside the window. But if you're in need of some liquidy neon shades, then by all means have at it. And I've heard really good things about the quality, so perhaps some of you guys might be interested in that. They do also have a bunch of 5-pan palettes that look to be fairly monochromatic. I don't really need those either. I'm not a huge fan of like the smaller palettes. Like I do love my Kaleidos palettes. Those for sure, like they're great, but in general I'm not a fan of smaller palettes. I like me some big palettes. I don't know why, there's just something about it where I'm like, all the colors. So these small ones, I don't know. I also am just not a fan of monochromatic ones all that much. I like when I can add some more depth to my looks, and so just having it be fairly monochromatic doesn't really give me a lot of variety. Not interested. So next up, I tossed this one in. I'm not a big perfume person. I tend to prefer using body sprays and things like that, but Spirit and Venom came out with these perfume bottles. And they do also sell perfume, and so the bottles are meant for you to like put their perfumes in. I just think these are super pretty, and so I wanted to include them in there. I'm not gonna get them because again, I don't use perfume, but they're real pretty, and so I figured I would toss them in there in case any of you guys do enjoy using perfume and you want a really, really nice display bottle. Pretty cool. Okay, next up, Glamlight did finally come out with a normal shaped palette. They have so many palettes out there that are just obnoxiously shaped that no one can store. Ugh, like I can't store them anywhere, and so I don't really like Glamlight for that reason. I've heard their quality is great, and now this one is finally appropriately shaped to where it's just a normal freaking square, but again, it's just a lot of pastel-y kind of shades. I don't, like if this had come out 4 or 5 months ago, probs, I would have gotten it and been real excited, but now I'm just kind of meh. Okay, next up from Ofra Cosmetics, there is a collab between Ofra and Leora. If you guys follow her on YouTube, she has a YouTube channel. So much like Samantha March, Leora is doing a collab with Ofra, and so she picked out some colors for a palette and then also 2 lip products. And the palette definitely, I would say, some real nice fall vibes, but I've gotten a couple of the palettes from Ofra in the past. I'm not a huge fan of the formula. I really like their highlighters, but I'm just, for their eyeshadows, I'm not as big of a fan. And so even though I do like this color scheme, I'm not inclined to get it. And then for the lip shades, the one liquid lip shade is way too dark for me. I would never wear that shade ever. Like I can't. I barely feel comfortable pulling off a red sometimes, and so to give me like a dark reddish brown, I'm for sure not gonna risk it. So definitely not getting that one. The clear gloss, I have enough clear glosses as it is, so also not inclined to get that one. Then we have from Elate Cosmetics, they came out with some pencil eyeliners and lip pencils. Yeah, so lip and eye pencils. They look kind of cute because they legitimately look like actual coloring pencils like you would use for a sketchbook, but I never use lip pencils, literally ever. And for my eyes, I sometimes will line my lower eye like I did today, but I don't like using stiff pencils. I prefer using that like more of the gel type smooth application, because if it's rough, I'm for sure gonna stab myself in the eye with it. And so I would never use these. No, moving on. Okay, now we get to see some Christmassy releases, because yeah. First up is gonna be from MAC Cosmetics. We have some lip products. And as we know, I have a great relationship with MAC lip products from the holidays. So just on principle, I will not be getting these. I do like the packaging. There's something about it that's very much like 1980s Gem and the Holograms type style packaging. I'm for sure aging myself on that one, but I don't care. So I do kind of like that style of coloring. Like, I think it's pretty, but I don't even know what the lip shades look like, and I don't particularly care. The packaging is the most interesting thing about it, and that's all I have to say about that, and we're gonna move right on. Okay, so next up is Too Faced, and they came out with 2 regular palettes as well as just a shit ton of holiday products, as they always typically do. So the 2 palettes are, there's a Light My Fire palette, and then a Kitty Like to Scratch. This makes me feel gross, just saying that. I don't like that at all. The Light My Fire one, I feel like the pop of yellow is the only thing that makes that worthwhile. Literally everything else about it is just a neutral palette. And the other one is definitely just a neutral palette. This one just, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know. But either way, that looks ridiculous. And then the rest of the palettes that they came out with are all for the holidays. And oh man, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 or 7 palettes here. Who needs this? Like, why? Like, I get it for a holiday release having like a couple bundles, but there's no need for this many palettes. And they all look identical. So really, all that you're asking for on there is a different cover. And honestly, if you're not looking that close, the covers look the same. So I guess the only one packaging wise that looks even slightly different would be like the red gummy bear one that's like your cinnamony one. But that palette is also just a neutral palette. I don't know what they're doing. And then they have a couple other lip bundles. Don't need it. I don't want it. Like, this is a waste of my time and money. So Makeup Revolution also came out with 2 Halloween palettes, which this is actually moderately fun. They came out with one that has like a rose covering on the outside, and then the other one is like late evening with a big moon. They are definitely more of some deeper shades. I think you could make a lot of different types of looks with that. I personally prefer more of these types of shades. I like a good smoky eye, and you can definitely, like, these are nice deep shades to do a good smoky eye. I just wouldn't pick it up because I'm not a huge fan of Makeup Revolution's formula. I haven't had much luck with some of the palettes that I've gotten from them in the past, and so I'm not gonna pick this one up for that reason. But color story wise, I would be alright with that. Okay, next is from Bobbi Brown. They came out with some eyeshadow quads, just one, it looks like. So I already do not like Bobbi Brown's eyeshadow formula at all. Like, I have 0 success with that formula. These photos also just make it look like almost 4 identical shades of metallics. Like, there's nothing particularly awesome about it. The packaging is also really, really basic, and so I'm not really interested in this at all. I used to hate everything that I got from Bobbi Brown, but I will say that recently I have really come to enjoy some of the lip products from that brand, and so those types of things I really do enjoy, and they're high quality. But the eyeshadow palettes I just cannot get behind. Like, I just am not able to use them to any level of success. definitely not gonna buy that. Also, whoever took these pictures for this particular palette did not do any kind of justice to it. Like, you really need to work on your photography skills because the flash on the one photo is too much, and so it just looks like 4 shades of beige, and then on the other one there's not enough flash, and so it's really just, I'm not a fan of any of that. Okay. For this, Huda Beauty really irks me because she comes out with these palettes where the shades that are in the palettes just really speak to me, and I think they're so pretty. In this set of 9-pan palettes, so she came out with like the neons, the pastels, the like monochromatic ones, like just a shit ton of 9-pan palettes. I have like 4 or 5 of them that I picked up, and now she comes out with these, and that khaki one with the greens and sand shades on there, I want that so badly, but I have horrible experiences with her formula. It does not stay on my eyes. Like, I'm able to make really, really nice looks, don't get me wrong. It looks gorgeous when I first put it on, but for whatever reason, it does not stay on my eyes. Like, I don't know if just the formula doesn't agree with my eyelids, which, hey, I have plenty of eyeshadows that don't agree with my eyelids because there's something weird about them. And so maybe it's that, but they don't last. Like, literally 45 minutes to an hour after application, the shimmers are completely gone and the mattes are like on their way out the door. And so it's, as much as I love this color story of that khaki palette, I can't bring myself to spend the money when I know it's not gonna last. And I have other green and gold eyeshadow palettes where, like this one, it does great. I applied this a while ago, like at least a couple hours ago, and it's still going strong. I have the Natasha Denona greenish brown palette that cost me like $250. That one works great, thank God. So I think I'm not gonna buy any of these, but she gets me every time with the color stories. Like, she's real good at knowing how to lay colors out together to make it appeal to me personally. But yeah, not gonna get it. Up next, the Supreme lipstick that Pat McGrath did as a collab. It did sell out, but now I guess it's back in stock for a little bit. I don't like lipstick. I especially don't like red lipstick. I'm definitely not gonna buy this. I'm also not one of the people that particularly fell into like the hype around Supreme products. Like, I never really understood what the big deal was. And so there's literally no appeal on this one. I do have like quite a few Pat McGrath lip products, and they are all outstanding. So if you like red lipstick and if you like Supreme, I would highly recommend. But for me, I don't need this. Okay, another holiday release is from NYX. I think they're another brand that does like a ton of holiday releases, and this is just a shit ton of stuff. Like, the fact that like you can't even really tell what all is in this picture because there's that much stuff is too much. Like, I don't want to have to zoom in to figure out what I'm looking at, but it looks like there's a bunch of palettes, a bunch of lip products. So I do like the NYX gel liners that they have for like your waterline. I'm a big fan of those, so I have a bunch of them. Other than that though, I don't feel like I have a ton of NYX products. Like, I think I decluttered the majority of what I had because I wasn't overly impressed with it. I feel like NYX is similar to Wet n Wild in that, like, I feel like I can live without it. Like, Wet n Wild I'm not a huge fan of because I don't like the cheap plastic packaging. Like, I am someone that on occasion drops their stuff more than on occasion. So having that cheap plastic, like, it's gonna guaranteed destroy it. And so that's part of why I don't get Wet n Wild, even though the quality of their stuff is really good. And I feel like NYX is heading down that route of like super similar to Wet n Wild, where it just, their packaging does not appeal to me at all. Don't particularly need this. Up next is Charlotte Tilbury. I am not a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan. The one time that she came out with eyeshadow palettes where I was really interested was when she had like those quads that were after the Pillow Talk line. because I don't need Pillow Talk shades of things. I'm not a big mauve-y person. Mauve pinks don't really, I don't need it. But she had come out with like these copper orange and like really pretty blue and greens, and I really wanted those. I slept on it and they were sold out before I could get them. And that's like the only thing from Charlotte Tilbury where I've been like super duper inclined to want to get it. Her foundation did me so dirty, as did her concealer. And so at this point, I'm kind of like, it's not worth the cost because it's super duper expensive. And now she came out with, I think this is like the second or third iteration of like these 12 pans where it's like the 4 sets of 3, I guess, to like help you figure out like how you want to combine your eyeshadows, which for beginners I think is really, really great. But the price tag for beginners is not. It doesn't appeal to me at all. Definitely gonna pass on that one. Okay, next up is from Marc Jacobs, and I actually think this packaging is kind of cute. Like, I don't know why, but there's something about it that just like makes me happy to see like the cherries with the green. I don't know why, but it's super cute. But I hate the majority of luxury brands because they all have that like old perfume smell to a lot of their products, which I am just not a fan of. I just also think that they are way too expensive for what you're getting most of the time. And so even though I think this packaging is very, very cute, I 99% not gonna get this. Like, maybe later, if it's not a limited edition type thing, maybe I might get like one of the items just because it's cute. But if all I'm getting it for is the packaging, then I feel like, why do I do that to myself? Like, I have enough crap as it is. So I high props and passing on this one. Okay, so Lime Crime has now also come out with a holiday release. And so I think because I'm somewhat new to makeup, I don't really know what the deal was, like what happened with Lime Crime. I just know that there was some drama around the brand and that a lot of people were like, we're not gonna buy from Lime Crime anymore. And so I need to do a little more research to figure out exactly what that was, and if it's drama that like I also would not want to associate with the brand, or if it's stuff where I just am like, don't really care. I don't know. So I need to do a little more research on that. But they came out with an eyeshadow palette that's a greatest hits classics. In other words, a mauve neutral palette. And then it looks like they also have like a smaller little like different lip products type thing. And neither of those things particularly appeals to me. Again, I don't need mauve pinks. I don't really wear them all that much. So I don't need the palette. And then for the lip products, again, I don't need lip products. So even if I was interested, pass. Next up is from Fenty, and I was really upset that I didn't get the holiday lip products last year from Fenty because they had a couple shades in there where I was super duper interested, and this one yet again has a couple shades in there that I am very interested in, like that hot pink one, really like that. The peachy orange one, really like it. The other two though, I'm on the fence on whether I like them or not. Like, I think that it would be rare that I would use them, and so I would probably just end up gifting them to someone. And so I think that's like, if half of the collection that I am purchasing, I'm already sort of on the fence on whether I would even use it at all. I just don't see the need to get it. And so I'm gonna pass. But I really like Fenty, and her lip products are really, really good. Like, Rihanna does a great job with a lot. Like the eyeshadow palettes, I think, are the only thing that I'm not interested in from that company, because like her foundations, love both of them. The bronzer, the powder bronzer one is real good. I'm not a big cream user, and so I'm sure that the quality is very nice, but I'm not very good at cream products, and so I haven't really got any of those. But any of the powder products, like her highlighters, are real good. Everything is nice, and so quality wise, like, if you like all of these shades, I would highly recommend picking it up. You're not going to be disappointed. The lip glosses are really, really nice, but I can't validate spending the money on something if I'm not even going to use half of it. So that's the only reason why I'm going to pass, is because half the shades are not for me. Okay, next we have another Pat McGrath thing for lips, and so this is a crystal lip kit, and who would use this besides someone that does Instagram makeup. Like, who else realistically would want to purchase this? Like, I would never glue glitter things to my lips to go out for the day. And so I'm just like, there's a part of me that's just like, why? What are we doing here? I mean, I'm sure that, like, so it's I guess 4 different sizes of bubbles. I don't need that at all, like at all. And so, like, I on occasion attempt to do Instagram looks. It never goes well. But I can't validate getting, like, it's $75? What? Hard no. That is a hard no from me. Moving on. Okay, so BH Cosmetics has come out with 2 more palettes, and as we know, I really like quite a few of BH Cosmetics palettes. Like, I have a bunch of the ice cream shop ones, I have 2 of the truffle blush palettes. So I'm a fan of the formula. I'm not a huge fan of, like, the baked eyeshadow palettes that they have, just because I don't like baked eyeshadows in general. They're too dry for me. But the regular eyeshadow palettes, that formula I really can get behind because they're super pigmented, they blend out really nicely. So quality-wise, I would highly recommend these to anybody. And they are very much Halloween-esque. You can't say that that's not Halloween, especially the smaller one. That looks like straight out of pulling for a Halloween look. And what's interesting is that this to me looks like a true mini palette because it has a lot of the same shades as the larger palette. And so if you were wanting like some of those brighter red and yellow shades, but you didn't want to have to get all of the other shades that are in there, the mini is perfect for you because it has those really fun colors without like some of the teals and the pinky purple shades. So I think that looks great. I don't need any more eyeshadow palettes right now. I have so many that I need to go through. So I think I'm gonna hold off on that one, but if you're wanting a really nice Halloween palette, I think that could be a real good pick for you. Okay, last one is going to be from Victoria Beckham, which maybe this is just me, but like I haven't seen a new release from her cosmetics line in forever, like literally ever. Like it's been years, it seems like. But she has released some new lipsticks, it looks like, and they are all very neutral. Again, I don't need lipsticks, and I definitely don't need neutrals. You know, I feel like if I wanted a good neutral lip, I would not go to Victoria Beckham for that. I would probably just go to Lethal Cosmetics since they just had a huge release of all kinds of nude lips and look great. And I love supporting Lethal Cosmetics because they are fantastic. And so this to me just looks super duper boring and unnecessary, and yeah, hard pass on that one. All right, that was all of the new makeup releases that I felt like squishing into this video. There are so many more, but I didn't want to be here for like forever and just talk your guys' ear off. This is what I was able to come up with and my thoughts on the makeup that I am not interested in picking up at all. But let me know down in the comments what your guys' thoughts were. Are you guys wanting to pick up any of these things? Would you like to debate me on like trying to convince me on what I should be getting or should not be getting? I'm fairly easily swayed, but I am trying to do a no buy, and so thus the anti-haul for now. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of it, go ahead and hit the subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you think my opinion is garbage. You're just like, I can't believe I sat this far through a video just to give you a thumbs down. You know, hey, whatever. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys are doing good and that you're staying safe out there. And man, I want this move to be over. But other than that, you guys just go have a good one.